Thank you, Kate. Now, how often do you take the bins out? Is it once a week? Maybe once a fortnight? Well, our next guest hasn't taken his bins out for more than 3 years. And we want to find out how. Gary Moran joins us from South Australia. Gary, it's good to see you this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for the opportunity.
Our pleasure. 3 years. I mean, I'm getting close to the edge by Thursday when it's bin day. If I don't take mine out, I'm done. How did you do it?
It's been a bit of a lifelong process. I've always been a keen recycler. The short version would be I realized a few years ago that a lot of my waste was actually soft plastic. And if I could find a way to recycle my soft plastic, that would reduce my waste further. And then I expanded on that mindset and tried to reduce smaller amounts of waste, over time.
How did you do that? How did you reduce your plastic?
There's a program called RedCycle, which allows me to take all of my soft plastic back to my local supermarket. Most of the chains have them. And I just keep that in a shopping bag hanging on my door. And when it gets full and it's time to head off to the shops, I just return it to the recycling point.
Oh, that's clever. Yeah.
So did you say that all supermarkets have this system where you can take it back and put it in their bin?
Both of the two major supermarket chains in my area, which are national supermarket chains, both have those.
That's great.
And they're normally somewhere where you enter the supermarket.
Right.
Right. And that's something, obviously, that anyone can do. Can anyone minimise their waste? Obviously, this is a first step.
They certainly can. I find the easiest way to do that is to separate things at the source. When you have an item in your hand, let's say it's a battery or a piece of plastic, you simply take that and you put it in the right little compartment in your home recycling station, and then it's easy for both yourself and people in your household to do.
Now, we're seeing photos of... I do that, but not with the thing.
Bulldog clip.
I get every bit out of the toothpaste. But what other methods do you use to cut down your waste? Do you actually take your own bags to the supermarket and put the bags and then take them home and then take them up and do it like that?
I certainly do. And the message is getting out there with plastic bags, and, a lot of other people are doing it also. And I don't use those plastic bags to grab your produce. I have some ones made out of natural materials that I just use over and over again. So that's a good waste minimizer also.
That's amazing. And it's been over 3 years. You've obviously learned a lot yourself along the way. What are you going to try now for the next time? Are you going to try make it even longer? I mean, is there still changes that you'd like to make?
As you said, it is a lifelong process to minimize your waste and your carbon footprint on the planet in general. Probably the next step, I can do the bin thing again pretty easy. That's a lifestyle choice. But I would like to reduce the amount of the frequency of me taking my recycling bin out by basically buying things with less packaging, buying more secondhand goods, and being smarter in that capacity.
It's hard, it's so hard with plastic, because even with tacos, they've got all the extra bit of cardboard and plastic. You think, do we need that?
So much packaging, right?
I know, and half the packaging you can't get into.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Gary, what I want to know is that, you've done a great job of composting your food, composting food scraps, making sure your soft plastic is recycled. What couldn't you recycle? What just had to go into the bin that you just couldn't get around?
That's a good question. More things are recyclable that are in my bin, I'd hate to say. Some of them would be some small pieces of styrofoam, bicycle tires, bicycle tubes. But in order to recycle some of those more obscure items, the transport to take them to a strange cycling place that will accept them is nearly prohibitive.
See, what do you do with polystyrene that comes with packaging, like if you buy a rice cooker and it's got all those bits?
Gary, can you help?
What do you do with those?
Yes, my understanding is that in Adelaide there is a recycling point for that, but you need to transport it there yourself. And for me, that's 45 kilometres away.
So that's
right.
Well, and by the sound of it, you ride a bike.
Yes, I ride a bike often, so yeah.
Yeah, so that...
We could
I
learn
do
a
have
thing
car also.
or two from you, Gary. You're great. Well done. One bin for 3 years. That is some achievement. Thanks for joining us and really good tips we can try at home. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.